right? So in this video we are going to discuss some problems on bridges. Okay, so last I think two videos we have seen the theory about DC bridges and AC bridges. Okay, today we will solve some problems. So the first problem here you can see is figure 11.1. Okay, okay, figure 11.1, that means this diagram, okay, consists of the following parameters. R1 is 10 kilo ohm, R2 is 15 kilo ohm, R3 is 40 kilo ohm. Okay, so here R1 is 10 kilo ohm, R2 is 15 kilo ohm, R3 is 40 kilo ohm. Find out the unknown resistance. Okay, so here if you want you can write this. Okay, this is 10k, right? R1 is 10k, then this is 15k, okay, and R3 is 40k. Okay, now what we have to assume is that the bridge is going to be balanced. Okay, and we have to use the balance equation. So normally how you can find out it is will be R1 divided by R3, okay, equal to R2 divided by R4. Okay, this is normal equation for when your bridge is balanced. Okay, this when your bridge is balanced, your resistance will have this relationship. So here in this case, this R4 which is there, that is the unknown resistance. Okay, so you can write R4 will be equal to R2 R3 divided by R1. Okay, so this equation will help you to solve it. So what will be, you have to multiply R2 and R3 is 15k into 40k, okay, divided by 10k. Okay, so if you solve this, you will get the answer. Okay, what is the value of R4, or you can say what is the value of Rx. Okay, here Rx and R4 are same. Okay, the unknown resistance, this one, Rx. Okay, same thing is written here. Next slide. Okay. So here you can see this is the relationship between the resistance when the bridge is balanced. Okay, so if you multiply this 15k into 40k divided by 10k, so you will get 60 kilo ohms as the resistance Rx. Okay, simple enough. Okay, now if your bridge is unbalanced. Okay, second problem, an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge is given in figure 11.5. That means this diagram. Calculate the current through the galvanometer. Okay, you have to calculate the current that flows through this galvanometer. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to find out the Thevenin equivalent voltage between point A and B, as well as the Thevenin resistance between A and B. Okay, the theory we have already discussed. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to find out the um, voltage at this point. Okay, let us say if it is VA and voltage at this point VB. Okay, and your Thevenin voltage, let us say if it is ETH, will be VA difference VB. Okay, VA difference VB, that will give you the Thevenin voltage. Okay, so how normally calculate equation will be RTH, you can say ETH. Okay, it will be multiplied with E first. Okay, now here you can see E is 6 volts. Okay, E is here, the battery. Okay, that E is 6 volts. This will be multiplied. Okay, you have to create a bracket. Now voltage at VA. Okay, the voltage VA, if you assume that this point B is ground or your reference, okay, then it will be R3 divided by R1 plus R3. Okay, difference R4 divided by R2 plus R4. Okay, now why I'm writing difference is because sometimes if you do VA minus VB, okay, you may get negative value. If you do VA minus VB and if you get negative value, what it indicates is that the point B is at higher voltage than point A. Okay, then you have to do VB minus VA. Okay, so just by looking at these values, okay, if you look at this value, this R4 is 10 kilo ohm, R2 is 2.5 kilo ohm, then again R3 is 3.5 and R1 is 1. Okay, so if you just see these resistances, one thing which you can observe is this R4 value is more, right? R4 is 10 kilo ohm, and it is more likely that between R2 and R4, more amount of voltage will drop across this 10k. Okay, if you compare with respect to 3.5 1k and 10 and 2.5. So what I will do is, instead of writing like this, what I will write, E is in bracket, I will write here R4. Okay, why? Because I will assume that the voltage across R4 will be greater than the voltage across R3. That means VB will be greater than VA. Okay, that is what we are assuming. And here I will write minus R2 divided by R1 plus, sorry, it is R3 divided by R1 plus R3. Okay, here now it is minus. So if you solve this, you will get what is value of ETH. ETH, the Thevenin voltage. Same thing if you want to find out what is RTH, the resistance. Okay, if you want to find out the resistance, normally to find out the resistance, the voltage source will be shorted. Okay, you short that voltage source, and if you short the voltage source, what happens is that there will be a short between this point and this point. Okay, this is connected like this, right? So it will be short between this point and this point. Okay, and this will be opened, E and B, it will be opened. So what will happen, this R1 and R3 will be in parallel, and R2 and R4 will be in parallel, and they will be in series. Okay, so the formula will be something like this: R1 will be parallel R3. Okay, this is one combination. Okay, plus R2 plus, sorry, R2 parallel R4. Okay, R1 parallel R3 plus R2 parallel R4. That will give you the resistance. So you'll see that. Okay, so this is the first thing which you see is Thevenin voltage. So ETH is equal to E into bracket R4 divided by R2 plus R4 minus R3 divided by R1 plus R3. So if you substitute all these values, okay, you will get around 0.132 volts. Okay, that is a voltage between point A and B, Thevenin voltage. Then Thevenin resistance is parallel combination of R1 R3 plus parallel combination of R2 and R4. So if you solve for that, you will get around 2.778 kilo ohms. You have to just substitute the value. Then next is you have to substitute here, like you have point A and point B. Okay, and you have calculate that I have resistance of RTH, right, and I have a Thevenin voltage of ETH. Okay, now what we will do, what we did was we opened A and B terminal, right? Now we will connect back the galvanometer. Okay, we will connect back the galvanometer, and the galvanometer resistance is 300 ohms. The galvanometer resistance is 300 ohms. Okay, RTH is this 2.778 kilo ohms. Okay, key, and this is 0.132 volts. So what you have to do, you have to calculate the current that flows through this loop. Okay, same current is going to flow through this galvanometer. So if you do that, okay, so this is the diagram, this side. So you'll get IG is equal to ETH divided by RTH plus RG. Okay, this one. So if you just solve for that, substitute, you'll get around 42.885 microampere. Okay, so this you have to understand. Three formulas you have to understand. Remember, you can say ETH, RTH, and then how to substitute that in your main equation. You can say current equation, this IG. Okay, third problem. Then given a center 200 microampere movement having an internal resistance of 125 ohms. Calculate the current through the galvanometer given in figure 11.9 by the approximation method. Okay, approximation method is important here. So this is the diagram. Okay, this is the diagram. Now in this diagram you can see the value of my E is 10 volts. Then the branch resistances, if this is, let us say, R1, it is 700 ohms. This is R2, that is also 700 ohms. R3, that is also 700 ohms. And R4 is 735 ohms. So one thing which you can observe is R1, R2, R3 are same. R4 is slightly varying, or you can say it has plus 35 ohms. Okay, if you compare it with other three. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to do the approximation method. So like here it is R resistance, here it is R, here also it is R, and here it is R plus delta R. Okay, small r plus delta R. Okay, so these are the resistances. So three branches have resistance R. The fourth branch has resistance R plus delta R. Then the moment or you can say the galvanometer which is placed here has an internal resistance of 125 ohms, which is given in the problem. Now same equation you can solve, like you have ETH. Okay, so it will be E. Okay, again what I'll do, 735 is greater, so the voltage across that will be greater. So we will write like this, R plus delta R, okay, divide by, okay, R plus delta R divided by R. Okay, this is, let us say, R2 plus R plus delta R, which is R4, you can say. This is subtracted. Okay, this is the first term. Okay, you can say the voltage at this point, if this is, let us say, is point B. So the first term which we have written, R plus delta R divided by, now this R plus delta R is R4. Okay, try to understand. Or you can see this one, R4. Then this R is your R2. You can see this one here, R2. And then this one is again your R4. I hope you can understand. R plus R delta R I have written is, this delta R indicates there is a difference. Okay, normal value of R is 700 ohms, but R4 is 735. So it is, you can write like 700 plus 35. Then minus this value. Okay, this will be R divided by R plus R. Okay, bracket complete. Okay, so if you just substitute this R by R plus R will become 1 by 2. Okay, R divided by R plus R will become 1 by 2, and this delta R we will, you can say, simplify. Okay, so now you will get R plus delta R divided by 2R plus delta R minus 1 by 2. Okay, minus 1 by 2. So if you simplify this, what you will get is 2R plus delta R, okay, minus 2R, okay, minus delta r. Okay, and here you will get 2r, sorry, 2 delta r. Well, what you have to do, you have to cross multiply, like 2 you have to take on this side. Okay, 2 you have to take on this side, so it will become 2r plus 2 delta r minus you have to take this side. Okay, so it will become 2r plus, oh, sorry, 2r, and delta r will become negative here, and this will be divided by, this will be divided by 4r plus 2 delta r. Okay, 4r plus 2 delta r. So here you can say 2r on the numerator will cancel. 2 delta r minus delta r is delta r. So here you will get delta r divided by 4r plus 2 delta r. Okay, similarly we have equation for RTH also. Okay, we will see next slide. Okay, so this is like simplified. Okay, so you have ETH is equal to E times this is general equation. Okay, the first equation which you see is the general equation. Then you have to substitute for the given value. Okay, what we have assumed is this is r, this is r, this is also r, and this is r plus delta r. Okay, so if you substitute for that, it will become like this, it will become like this. Okay, and finally you will get like this. Okay, it will be delta r divided by 4r plus 2 delta r. Okay, 4r plus 2 delta r. Now if you see the denominator, okay, this term 4r plus 2 delta r. Now here 2 delta r is very small. Okay, it's less than means it is very small when you compare it with 4r. Okay, or in this problem if you see 2 delta r means 70 ohms. Okay, and if you compare it with 4r means around 2.8 kilo ohms. Okay, so this 2.8 kilo ohms is 40 times 70 ohms. Okay, so it is much greater than this. So what we will do is that we will ignore this 2 delta r. Okay, this ignoration of 2 delta r is what is we are doing is approximation method. Okay, if you see the question, they are asking you to solve it by approximate method. Okay, approximation method. So that is why what we will do, we'll assume that this 2 delta r is very small when compared with 4r. Okay, here it is 40 times smaller. And that is why what we are going to do, we are going to ignore that. The 2 delta r term will be ignored, and we can solve that. So delta r is 35, 4 times 700. Okay, if you solve for that, you will get around 0.125 volts. So try to understand why it is approximation method is because you are ignoring this 2 delta r. Now, similarly, you have to calculate the resistance. So resistance here, if you see, this is the first one is the general equation. Then you have to substitute R1, R3 and R2 as R. R4 you have to substitute as R plus delta R. Okay, so if you substitute that and simplify, you will get this. Now in this term, okay, in this term, the first you can say numerator value here, if you see, here you can see R into delta R is very much less than R square. For the given problem, it is like this. R into delta R is around 24.5 kilo ohms, which is much smaller than this one, 490 kilo ohms, which is R square. Okay, so that is why what we can say is we will ignore this R into delta R term. Same way, the second, the denominator here, the denominator, if you see, this delta R is much smaller than 2R. Or this relationship 35 is very smaller than 1.4 k. So if you substitute for that, that means what we are going to do, we are going to ignore the value r plus delta r, sorry, r into delta r and delta r value. So if you ignore that, it will simplify to this, or it will be simply RTH is equal to R, or it will be around 700 ohms. Okay, so one thing what you can remember is that if you are asked to solve by approximate method, okay, if you are asked to solve approximate method, then your RTH value will be equal to R. So this you can remember. Now finally, you have to calculate the current. To calculate the current, you have Ig is equal to ETH divided by RTH plus RG. So again, you can draw the diagram. Okay, you have, let us say, point A and B. Okay, what we have calculated, the resistance is 700 ohms, right? Then the Thevenin voltage is 0.125 volts, and then you connect the galvanometer. Okay, connect the galvanometer, and the galvanometer has internal resistance of 125 ohms. Okay, galvanometer has resistance of 125 ohms. So what you have to do, you have to calculate the current that flows through the galvanometer. So if you solve for this equation, you'll get around 151.51 microamperes. Okay. Okay, next problem. Here it is now a capacitance comparison bridge. Okay, this is one of the AC bridges. The first three problems which are solved was for DC bridges. Okay, this is AC bridge in this problem. Then it is used to measure capacitive impedance at a frequency of 2 kilohertz. The bridge constants at balance. Okay, the bridge constants at balance. Balance they have written means the bridge is balanced. Then C3 is given. Okay, so this value is given. Then R1, R2, R3 is given. So here R1 is given, R2 is given, and R3 is also given. Find the equivalent series circuit of the unknown impedance. So this series impedance which is there, right? Rx plus you can say Cx, okay, or the combination of this they want to find out. Okay, so again the normal equation for balance will be Z1. Okay, I am not writing R1 because it is AC bridge. Okay, normally AC bridges you will write impedance. So the first branch, okay, Z1 by Z3 is equal to Z2 by Z4. Okay, so this is like first equation. Then in the first branch, if you see there you have only R1. Okay, then if you see the third branch, you have R3. Okay, then it is in series, so you have to write minus J divided by omega Cx. Okay, that is the value is equal to R2 divided by this Cx and Rx value. Okay? So you will write Rx minus J divided by omega Cx. Okay, I think here it will be C3. Okay, it will be R3 minus J divided by omega C3 here. So it will be there. Then what we have to do is we have to equate it for R4, or you can say this term you have to write on this side. Okay, so what we will do, will cross multiply. So this will be R1 into Rx minus J divided by omega Cx. Okay, and this will be R2 into R3 minus J divided by omega C3. Okay, so we have cross multiplied. Then if you simplify this, you will get R1 Rx minus J times R1 divided by omega Cx, okay, equal to R2 R3 minus J times R2 divided by omega C3. Okay, now if you see this, if you see this equation, the first term is real, the second term is imaginary, you can say, because of J. Then here the third term is real, and the fourth term here is imaginary. So and there is a equal to sign. So what we can do is we can equate the real and imaginary parts. So this R1 Rx will be equated to R2 R3, and this R1 divided by omega Cx will be equated to R2 divided by omega C3. Okay, so if you take you can say equating real and imaginary parts, what you will have is R1 Rx is equal to R2 R3. Okay, so with this you can find out what is the value of Rx, right? So Rx will be R2 R3 divided by R1. Okay, all values are there. R2 value is 50 kilo ohms, R3 value is 100 kilo ohms, and R1 value is 10 kilo ohms. Okay, it is there in the problem. If you solve for that, you will get it. Same way, you can find out what is value of Cx. Okay, the capacitance. So for that, your relationship will be this: R1 by Cx is equal to R2 by C3. Okay, from these two equations we are writing. Okay, the imaginary parts, the J and J, okay, they represent imaginary. Omega will cancel. Okay, frequency part will cancel. So you can write Cx is equal to R1 C3 divided by R2. Okay, so if you substitute for that, you will get value of Cx. Okay, so here it is. Okay, same way. So you have Z1 by Z3 is equal to Z2 by Zx. Cross multiply. Okay, then substitute the value. Okay, Z1 is R1, Zx is this, Rx minus J divided by omega Cx. Then Z2 is this R2, and Z3 is this. Hmm? Then cross multiply, sorry, simplify this. Then this is the real part equated. This is the imaginary part. Okay, so you will get these equations, two equations. Then you have to substitute. Okay, so these are the two equations, and you are having these values. So if you substitute this, you will get around 500 kilo ohms as the value of Rx, and Cx value will be around 20 microfarad. Cx value will be around 20 microfarad. So finally what you have to do, you have to draw a simple diagram where you represent resistance and this capacitance. Okay, this is your Rx whose value is 500 kilo ohms. Okay, and this is your Cx whose value is 20 microfarad. Okay, so this is what you have to do.